Hello, everybody. Welcome to Community Howl Night, episode 8, I'm pretty sure.
10.
But I'm here with a special guest, the director of HFF. Jack, would you like to say
Hello.
something?
Hi, everybody. I'm Jack, aka Timekeeper. You might have seen my DJ sets on VR chat before. Possibly me playing terrible music for an hour.
Well, alrighty, let's get this show on the road. I'm also joined by Amrock in the corner over there. Amrock, if you'd like to say hello.
Hello, everyone.
And without being said, let's get this started, shall we? Alright, so Jack, first question. What inspired you to start HFF?
Alright, so I love telling this story because it spawned from something completely unrelated to furry in VR chat. So I follow this music festival called Lost Lands. It's ran by an artist I follow named Excision. And when COVID-19 happened, when that whole sort of craziness started, when everybody was like at home and quarantine and stuff like that, they did this stream called the Lost Lands 2019 Rewind, where they showcased all the sets from the DJs they had in 2019, like the full things. Because on the stream, they only show like 30 minutes of each set, but they replayed everything in full for 2019. And I saw Twitter posts from people like building stages around their like TVs and stuff like that. They were like decorating their TVs to make it look like a stage, and I'm like, holy crap! I want to inspire people to do that. And also, I saw like this is when like DJ events and VR chat were just like getting started and stuff like that. So I pretty much was like, hey, why don't I start like a music festival but in VR chat, and like for DJ furries and stuff like that. So me and a friend named Zenik at the time, we started it up, and we formed it. Started off with just 3 people running the thing, and then our staff team kind of grew and grew and grew and grew. And yeah, it's a lot of it's funny because we started around the same time Ferality did. And so pretty much like at that time, we were like, us and Ferality were like the only 2 like big VR chat events at that time. And then more and more clubs started coming up and stuff like that, and then more and more DJs started joining, and it gave us more and more DJs to play for us and stuff like that. And yeah, I mean, it's really been fun running the entire thing, and saying that I run
Yeah.
something, because I know that I know like running stuff is hard, but it's actually kind of fun in a way.
That's good. I mean, the more communities that pop up could bring more DJs into your life to, help spark everybody else to join. But next question, what type of experience do you hope to deliver to your HFF attendees?
So recently, we're trying something new where we're having like a mix of like performers, like not just DJs. We're having like musicians, like singers and bands and stuff like that play for us, because I actually want HFF to feel like, oh, we're going to a music festival, but it's not like your average like stage here, stage there. Like, most music festivals have like multiple stages. I just wanted everything to be set around like one stage, just so everybody doesn't have to keep hopping around to see their favorite artists and stuff like that. But like, I wanted like different themes for each event, because like every music festival just sticks to one theme. And I'm like, what if like a music festival, I believe Tomorrowland has a different theme every year. I don't know. Ignore that statement. But so like I wanted like a different theme each time, so we kind of started like to do like our first HFF was in like the Porter Robinson Second Sky world, and then we got some world builders starting to work for us. So we started to like build worlds and build themes and stuff like that, like Hawaiian Dream, which was on an island, and Tropical Paradise, which was kind of the same thing. And then we also had no, Hawaiian Dream was actually like PS1 themed, where we had like PS1 graphics and stuff like that. And
Cool.
so on and so forth. And our upcoming theme is to the moon, which we're in space this time. But yeah, no, the experience is I want people to actually feel like they're at a music festival. So like I asked the staff if we can also have like performers on as well, like musicians and stuff like that. So I mean, I can't reveal the lineup yet because it's not out, but we got some good performers lined up. So stay tuned for that when that information gets out.
I mean, yeah, that's pretty cool. Like, especially having more opportunities that could bring a better experience to the attendees.
Yeah.
But moving on to the next question, what is the experience you have while running HFF? Like, what is your point of view?
My point of view the entire time is just making sure like nobody causes any trouble pretty much. I mean like all the time I always like lurk around and I always like run around in the worlds and I listen to the music and stuff like that. And also like I kind of use HFF as kind of like an exposure to like cuz most of the time when we do HFF pretty much mostly oh my controller just fell. Mostly new DJs apply for us and I've met a ton of DJs like new DJs through HFF and HFF is kind of like a thing to kind of bring me closer to the DJs performing because like they see that I run the thing and they're like, oh wow, so you run this whole thing and stuff like that. And you know a lot of DJs that I know today were our relationship started through HFF. Like me and Kaiju's relationship started through HFF and stuff like that. So I mean, I always love like meeting new DJs through HFF and stuff like that. So pretty much, yeah.
That's pretty cool. Let's see. What is your favorite memory of the conventions you currently run?
Everyone calls HFF a convention. I swear to God.
That's what
The
Amrock
memory.
told me.
It's not a
Shush.
convention, Amrock. I think my most favorite memory was crap. I'm trying to remember. No, I think the most favorite memory was I think was the time when I was during my back to back with Raccoon. When me and Raccoon were watching it, or watching the set air, he looked to me and said, "I can't believe I'm going back to back with the person who got me into DJing." And I turned to him and he's like, I can't believe I'm going back to back with the person that I inspired to DJ. And I just looked to myself, be like, huh, okay. That was an odd conversation. That was the only thing he said to me that entire time. So that was like a fun little memory. I think the most memorable moment that happened at HFF was the fact that somebody came up to me and told me that that they were feeling pretty down after getting rejected for Ferality, and they told me that doing the set for HFF actually made them feel better. And I was like, wow, I mean, thank you. I mean, you know, like I always tell people, like, you know, you get one rejection letter, don't give up. I mean, I mean, I almost did several times, but I didn't give up.
Yeah.
Very dedicated to what I do.
It doesn't really matter if somebody just rejects you. That one person doesn't compare to the billions of people that we have in this world. Like, we still have more chances that come along. But why do you say, well, off topic question, but why do you say that that HFF is not a convention?
So I get people calling us a convention all the time. It's not a convention because we don't have like convention aspects like panels and meetups and stuff like that and vendors. I mean, like some music festivals do have vendors, and I have pitched that idea to them before that we can have like a little vendor section for people to like promote their art and stuff like that. But like the staff didn't really show much interest for that. Mainly because that like I think it was like because like they're already put under a lot of pressure, like building the worlds and stuff like that. So that means we would have to have like hire a separate person for the the vendors and stuff like that, and like taking vendor applications. And personally, we don't know anybody that would be willing to do that. So I mean, I will keep pitching that idea to them, because it's music festivals do have vendors. But yeah, pretty much we're not a convention because we pretty much only have the music. So like, and people can say like, oh well, it's a club. Basically, it's not really a club, because what club has as big of a stage as we do? Pretty much.
Well, you heard it here, Howl Knight. Oh, where'd my hand go? You heard it here. HFS was not considered a convention. Okay?
It's not a convention. We would be called Hex Fur Con, not Hex Furry Fest.
Yeah, so we heard it here from the director, so it's 100% proven, unless changed otherwise. But coming back, what is leading you to the point that you are in currently?
Like, what do you mean leading me into the point? Like, leading me to the future?
Your motivation, yeah, like future. Like,
Oh,
what motivates you
My
to
mo-
be in the position where you are today?
what motivates me is like seeing all the DJs apply for HFF, and I've gotten a ton of messages from DJs being like, "Oh, I submitted such a cool set for like some people submitted for HFF. Some people that have submitted for HFF before like barely play VR chat at all, and that motivates me. I kind of want to set a point, be like, hey, you don't have to play VR chat to play for a virtual event. Like, I don't like how I have seen a ton of events like kind of be like, if you don't play VR chat, then you're not playing for us, sort of thing, and I don't like that. So like, I kind of wanted to be like, hey, I always tell people, because I get messages from people all the time, be like, hey, I don't have VR chat. Can I still apply for HFF? And I'm like, yeah, go for it. We've had people plenty of times play for us that never play VR chat. Like an example I can give, Robbie played for our HFF 6.5. Robbie Sets, the other half of Kiku Boys, played for HFF 6.5, and I don't think he plays VR chat. So, I mean, if you're watching, you don't play VR chat, and you're looking for a show to play, and you don't want to wait for a con. I mean, you can play for HFF. I mean, we don't care. We're not. I don't think we've ever pushed for you to have VR to play for us. So yeah,
All right, well,
that's what motivates me.
I got a quick question on have you lurked or been included inside of Waterwolf? Are you in the server?
I've pitched some ideas to Waterwolf before, like for their I think it's for their defective equipment thing. When I was checking that world out, I noticed a church that was in the world, and I turned to Kat and I was like, is it possible to make that church chime on every hour? And Kat's like, oh yeah, it's not that hard. So what I did was I recorded some sounds, because I'm a clock collector IRL. I collect clocks, hence the stage name Timekeeper. So I actually have a bunch of clocks that chime and stuff like that. So I sent Backsynth the sounds of some of my clocks chiming, and he's gonna see if he can use those to make the church chime, which is pretty cool. So yeah, I've contributed here and there to Waterwolf. I mean, I'm not a world builder to any degree, so there's really not much I can contribute, but I have like given them ideas before, and I mean, like, hell, I can say, but this is the only set I'm revealing. My set for HFF 7, I'm having Isaac do my visuals, because it puts less pressure on the staff to provide visuals for me. That's kind of the main reason why I wanted someone else to do my visuals, and I wanted somebody who has done my visuals before to do my visuals, which was Isaac. He did me and Headox's visuals for Foxconn Cyberpunk. So I was like, hey, well, and also I didn't want to put a lot of pressure on NoRef as well, because my original plan was to get NoRef to do visuals, but Isaac is always so willing to like help people out. So like, I occasionally go to Waterwolf for like advice on like world ideas and stuff like that. So I have pitched ideas to them before, and I've asked them for advice and stuff like that.
If you were to tell people about what Waterwolf does, would you tell people about us, or would you recommend it?
Yeah, I mean,
if I put it that way.
Yeah, so I actually have had people, come up to us and ask us if we have any affiliation with Waterwolf. I was like, no, but we do have Waterwolf staff working for us, and I can say that they're incredibly talented. The entirety of the Waterwolf team is incredibly talented, and Isaac has said to me before, if HFF ever needs any help, just reach out to the Waterwolf crew and stuff like that. So, I mean, I don't know why we haven't like posted our volunteer form in there at all. I mean, I bet you someone in there would be willing to, help us out. But yeah, I would most definitely recommend Waterwolf to people if they ask. Like, hell, if anybody ever asks like, who did my visuals, I'll be like, oh, it's Engineer Isaac from Waterwolf. I recommend you check him out, sort of thing.
Yeah. I mean, that's good. Let's see. Who is someone that you look up to?
So I got two answers for this. I got in the furry scene and outside the furry scene. So in the furry scene, or outside the furry scene, sorry, I'll start with this because not that much people care. Outside of the furry scene, I look up to some of the bigger names in the EDM scene, like these two artists named Wooly and Company. Uh, they kind of started my whole like macro stomp style with the whole like stompy drums thing and stuff like that. And I look up to them heavily because they're the type of people that are like, hey, just make what you want and not give a damn sort of thing. So I look up to them heavily for like music production stuff and like DJing and stuff like that. In the furry scene, I look up to mostly most of the furry dubstep scene or the furry heavy bass scene, DJs and producers wise. Like I look up to people like Defcon, Coyote, Raccoon, Kaiju, a bunch of these other people. I look up to them heavily because they inspire me to keep going and stuff like that. I gotta mess with a plug here.
It's
But
okay.
yeah,
Take your time.
I mostly look up to them for they encourage me to keep going and stuff like that. Especially Coyote. Recently, he's been being very supportive of my music. So yeah, because most of those and not just them, like everyone, pretty much everyone in the DJ scene, I look up to pretty much. I mean, there's no like select person I look up to. I mean, I don't mind doing it outside of the EDM scene because they don't care about my opinions. But in the furry DJ scene, I'm pretty much inspired by everyone. Like everyone inspires me in a way to like do something, and you know.
Yeah, I mean that's really cool. I mean, inspirations could help you go in your path or continue in your path. But let's see. What
I
do
have
you
a
hope your future
question.
unfolds into?
I hope I can achieve the dreams that I can. Like I mentioned before, there's this music festival named Lost Lands. It's like a dubstep music festival. Probably one of my biggest dreams is to play a show there. And I also want to get like a IRL like real gig, like not just like playing at a furry convention and stuff like that. I want to actually like play a club setting or like start in a club setting at least and then grow into like music festivals. But it's like in the furry scene, I do have dreams to achieve too. Like I have dreams to get on to like sort of to play for like the bigger cons, stuff like that, and um, break out of my nerve system because like I'm always nervous to play like big stages and stuff like that. So like it would really overcome my fear of playing like in front of like thousands of people, and it would get me ready for like the real thing and stuff like that. So my biggest dream is to like start like playing like more IRL shows and like traveling to different countries and states and places and stuff like that to play IRL shows and stuff like that. And my biggest dream is probably to go on tour. That's one of my biggest dreams. I really want to like do a tour and travel to like different places and play shows there. It'd be really cool to go on tour. So I hope that happens someday.
Yeah, that would, from my point of view, I think you'd really enjoy what you're envisioning for your future. I personally think that
Oh
it
yeah.
would be a good thing for you.
I actually what's funny is I promised everybody if I play a show at Lost Lands, I'll literally for the last song, I'll borrow somebody's fursuit head and I'll wear it on stage in front of like thousands of people.
I mean, hey,
So,
that's one hell of a
Lost Lands,
one
let's
hell of a
make that
thing.
happen. If any Lost Lands staff are watching, let's make that happen.
Go help him out, guys. Come on, we got this. But let's see. What do you look for in a DJ?
Oh god, that is the hardest question anybody asks me. Warren has asked me this question so many times, and I always like struggle to answer. What do I look for in a DJ? Mostly like people playing whatever the hell they want and not caring. Like I don't shame people that do this, but I kind of like be like, why do you do this sort of thing? When people always go like, I want to play this genre, but I'm afraid people aren't gonna like it, and sort of
Right.
thing. And I'm just like, play what you want. If they don't like it, then it's their problem. I mean, I have had countless comments from people saying, I don't like dubstep, it's not danceable. And I'm like, so what? Leave if you want.
Do those
It's
people
like,
not know
I
what
always like
headbanging
love
is?
people that kind of just play what they want. They don't care what the crowd thinks. They just, I mean, obviously you gotta like watch the crowd and make sure the crowd is enjoying your set and stuff like that. But like, if there's that one person that says like, I don't like dubstep, so I'm gonna, constantly trash this set and stuff like that, it's like, just don't care. Just play what you want and see what happens. I mean, that's what I do. There's a ton of songs that I was hesitant playing about, or there's a ton of genres I was hesitant playing about, and boom. I mean, like, example, I did a Waterwolf pop-up one time and I was playing this dark wubby stuff that I never play at all, and everybody really liked it, and I was like, maybe I'll do more of that. So I started doing more of that in my sets and stuff.
That's really cool. That is also what pop-ups or Waterwolf is all about. They give recommendations to people to, keep moving forward. Let's see. Included in HFF, are you hiring at the moment?
We're always looking for volunteers in any field. I mean, I think the department that's suffering the most probably is stream team. So if anybody watching has experience with streaming, please volunteer. we're always looking for more people to fill like fields and stuff like that. Like I want to turn the DJ side into into like a DJ team where we have multiple people judging, because I had to step into DJs this time because there were some genres that our DJ coordinator didn't know anything, couldn't judge because they had no experience with it. So I had to kind of step in, and I tend to always stay away from like coordinating DJs for HFF, because like I tend to let the DJ team do that, because like I don't want people to think I'm pulling strings to accept people or anything like that. Like someone gets accepted and people are like, he accepted them because he's his friend, sort of thing, and I don't want people to get that view, so I kind of don't touch the DJ side of things. So if I can build also a DJ team as well, that would be great. But yeah, any field, we're always looking for more volunteers. So, the volunteer form is in our Discord server. You can go find it, fill it out, and I mean, if you can't find it, just message a staff member. They would be happy to give it to you. And we're always looking for more people to, just help us out, and hopefully we'll get more stream team people, because that field is probably struggling the most right now.
We could probably help you out. Waterwolf is here for you. Who knows? Maybe
Yeah.
people are out there looking for opportunities like that. So if anybody is out there looking for an opportunity, give HFF a try. Just give their staff members a shout, and they'll come to you. But let's see. I don't know. Okay, what? Like when I asked what could be like a real life experience, but what is the main visual experience, like shows and stuff, when you're doing your HFF sets and stuff? What is the visual experiences that you try to give to the attendees?
I try to give people a a visual experience with like having like holograms on stage. You know how like Ferality does their like hologram thing, and Waterwolf did the hologram thing as well. I want to actually make it feel like that, like, because I've always, not everyone has like, not everyone can be there during their set and stuff like that, and some people might have crappy internet and stuff like that. So like we wanted to do the hologram system just so they can still be on stage and go to a different instance and stuff like that. And we also encourage people. We don't require it, but we also encourage people to get like people to do their visuals as well, just so you can have like cool visuals in the background, just so it's not like your logo under like behind like something random or anything like that. I want to give people like like I said before, like I want them to make them feel like they're at an actual festival. Like they rolled up, they're going from their hotel to the festival space to enjoy some music. And you know, all music festivals as well are inclusive of all genres as well. So that's what I push for as well. Is be very very inclusive of everyone that DJs. Like even if you spin the most boring genre ever, you're more than welcome to play for HFF, pretty much. But for like visual experience, I say that like we try to make the stages look pretty. We don't like the stages to be very generic because there are some people out there that are like, this stage looks kind of boring. So we tend to make the stages look different each time. We change up the theme because we feel like that kind of adds to like the experience. Be like, oh, what's the theme gonna be next year, sort of thing. Kind of like a mystery, kind of like what all conventions do that don't announce the theme right away. It's like, what's their theme gonna be? We'll never know until they announce it, sort of thing.
Exactly, yeah. Let's see. Trying to think one on the top of my head. Is there anything that you're curious about, that's something that you want to ask us? I don't know, Amrock, can we do that?
Yeah, of course you could do that.
Is there any questions for us that you would like to ask? Like, is there any questions for
I got a good
Amrock?
one.
You got a good one?
So
Alright,
how
ask
far
away.
are you? Hey Jack, how far are you from Lost Lands?
Very far. I live in like British Columbia. I live nowhere near Ohio.
Yeah, so like I'm literally next door to Lost Lands. I've been trying to go for the last 2 years, but the $378 general admission has been like, I don't know, questionable for me. Cause it's like it's my first music festival, man. But would you like to incorporate similar treasure hunts into HFF?
Like similar aspects from Lost Lands into HFF.
Yeah, like they have that treasure hunt, they have the scavenger hunt. Like, dude, wouldn't that stuff be fun?
Oh, yeah. We have been I've been wanting to pitch to the staff team about like activities to do. I mean, we kind of did it. I mean, like I think we did a thing where like if you find a staff member to HFF, like give them a head pad and say what good job they're doing and stuff like that. I've been wanting to do like sort of like activities. Like I've been wanting to do an Easter egg hunt and be like the first person who I wanted to do a contest for HFF7, and I want to see what the staff are willing to do. I want to do a contest where it'd be like, okay, so all DJs attending HFF, whoever finds all the Easter eggs first gets a guaranteed spot for the next HFF.
Ooh,
Kind of wanted
that's
to do like a
cool.
fun little contest like that. And I wanted to see who would actually be dedicated enough to find all the Easter eggs. And I kind of wanted to do another Easter egg too, and like sneak a little QR code into like the world and stuff like that. And it's a link to like a funny like whoever can find this QR code, and it's a link to like I guess like me and the HFF board being like, you did it, you found a secret, us rambling on about random stuff or something. I don't know, just like fun little activities like a treasure hunt and stuff like that would be cool to implement. That's something I'm definitely going to bring up to them, just like little fun activities to do. And I mean, there definitely was little fun things to do. Like for the last world, we had like a boat that you can control, that you can kind of fly around in, and we had like a volley flight, a volley flight thing. So like just so you don't have to like walk to certain places, you can just fly there. And Yeah, so that's something I'm considering, just like fun little activities and stuff like that. I mean, we can't do most of the activities that they have because they have like face painting and stuff like that. We can't really do face painting in VR chat.
You know, you,
So, I
you
mean,
could
there probably
always
is an avatar out there where you can paint on them, but I don't know.
yeah, you can always do like those like clothing themes like Frowlity does, but Lost Lands
Yeah,
in the
whoever has the
jungle.
best clothing like wins a special role or something.
Yeah.
Uh, I'm drawing blanks now. You think we're good, Emerald?
Hey, okay, so more HFF questions. I think I'm gonna hop in here. All right.
Do you want to
So,
switch seats here? I could. Here, I'll take a
yeah,
quick
sure.
intermission, real quick.
Permission. Yeah. Yeah, so hi Jack. I come from the abyss. Anyway,
Oh yeah.
how is your sets in HFF scaled to the convention ground? So, like, if an attendee is on the ground, how do you scale the entire like camera system and visual system so it appears like there's a lot of people there and the space is filled?
Hmm. Uh, I'm sorry, I don't understand that question.
Okay. So this has been a reoccurring problem at Waterwolf, and the problem is how do you fill empty space? So for your creative processes in HFF, how do you fill the space? Like how do you immerse your audience into the visuals, the DJs, the live entertainment? Do you put them up close or do you increase the scale? What?
With our worlds, they're mostly like very small scale. We don't like build like massive like spaces to run around in. I think like the biggest space we had was Hawaiian Dream, I think it was called, or Tropical Paradise, one of the two, where we had this like beach world and there was actually a lot of space to run around. Um, but for the stage wise, we tend to have a general area close to the stage, just so like, because like to me, I kind of find it a little like I mean, like I do love like world exploration and stuff like that, seeing the world, but I kind of find it like kind of disrespectful to the DJ if we have like a giant space and everybody is like way the hell over there, like far away from the stage and not like enjoying the music and stuff like that. So I wanted them. So we kind of build our spaces kind of sort of like to where you can still explore the world, but you'll be like still very close to the stage and hear the music and stuff like that.
Hell yeah. Because like when I started volunteering for Waterwolf, the one thing I said is, you know what, like Isaac has this OCD where oh no, there can't be empty areas because then you're not like in the festival party atmosphere. And I told him, well look, just shrink the stages down, put the musician in the middle, and let the lights and camera and all that cool stuff attract them to the DJ. You know what I mean? But I love world exploration, and I think your point with like you remember like the Ferality DJ World this year, how they had like that cafe area all the way in the back. I feel like you kind of like bring
Yeah,
to the point of like if I was in the Ferality creative team, I would have actually put that more towards the center as like a backdrop.
I would have put
So
that closer. Yeah.
yeah, so when people were up in that little fiesta area, they're still like beating to the music of the DJ. Yeah, I definitely have learned a lot in recent years. So, moving on, today is the day VR chat decided to be a pain in my butt. But,
We're all
what,
VR chat's always a pain.
indeed. So, what future themes for HFF are you considering?
The one I've always wanted to do was a dinosaur theme. I really wanted to do a dinosaur theme, mainly because like it's the most like shout out to Lost Lands theme ever. Because if it wasn't for Lost Lands, I wouldn't have gotten the idea for HFF. So like, I kind of wanted to do like a dinosaur theme and have like an Easter egg to like Excision or Lost Lands or something where it says like something like the heavy bass T-Rex was here or something like that. or some Easter egg to kind of like reference Excision without referencing him, like without saying his name outright or something, or to say like a thing that just says X was here or something.
Yeah.
Because like I've been constantly asking for a dinosaur theme, but for some reason the staff never does it. And the closest we got is putting a dinosaur in the world, but I'm like, no, let's do a dinosaur theme. To think about a cool stage we could build with a dinosaur theme. Like I think some other themes I've been considering as well is I think we could really do like a cool theme with like a jungle theme as well. Another one is kind of like sort of a futuristic theme as well, like in a futuristic city and stuff like that. So I got some ideas to pitch to everyone.
Prehistoric jungle. Mix both of them together.
Prehistoric jungle. Oh, that's a theme idea there. Right, take
Yeah.
notes, staff. Take notes.
Prehistoric jungle. And, have people run around in, like, bikinis themed to, like, the jungle and, that stereotype.
What about
Oh, yeah.
Jurassic Bork?
Jurassic Bork.
Jurassic
That's
Bork.
a good one, Foxtrot.
Jurassic Bork. That's a good one. Next thing you know, Waterwolf steals that.
Jurassic Bork.
Next,
that is something
next pop up. Jurassic Bork.
Yeah,
Jurassic
I think
Bork.
Texane would get like a laugh at that. That would be something Texane would laugh at. Like, have you seen our community, like, what are they called? Oh yeah, Spirited Adventures.
I've went to there a couple times. Most of the time, I don't want to do more of those, but most of the time I forget they're happening. So like, and all their times I just like, oh, I rather would work on music than get on VR chat right now, sort of thing. Because I'm like committed to this third album I'm working on, and like, so, and I want to get that finished. So it's kind of like a thing where like I want to get on VR chat, but I'm afraid if I do, I'm gonna get hooked on VR chat, and then I'm never gonna finish music. So. I've seen Spirited Adventures. I don't know how Spirit finds all these weird worlds to get to. And like, I think for a Spirited Adventure, Spirit introduced me to this one world that was like, it was like PS1 graphics, and it was like this like mystery, like murder mystery thing. And I was like, I looked to him and I was like, Spirit, how do you find these worlds? And he's like, I don't know. I'm just Wicker.
Your mic was cutting out there, but yeah, the reason why I bring this up is that whole Spirited Adventures has led me to discover way more world concepts or future events that I really like to be explored. Like maybe
like the worlds of Spirit. Yeah, the worlds that Spirit has showed me definitely gave me like I was definitely like taking notes on what they look like, being like, they did this and they did that. So maybe that's something we could do. Like I remember this one world that got me an idea was like this world that had like drinkable drinks where like you can like the drink actually goes down if you drink it, the drink actually like goes down and like becomes empty. And then like if you click it again it refills because VR chat technology. But like I've been thinking of like doing stuff like that where you can actually like drink the drinks and then you can do the immersion of actually drinking a drink IRL. So the stuff like that kind of gives me ideas for like say like some of the worlds that Spirit has showed me kind of like sort of also the train world that Spirit goes into too gave me another theme idea for HFF. I wanted to do like an HFF runaway train or something.
Yeah, that would be a lot of fun. A roller coaster event. Or, the good thing about Spirit Adventures is you could test worlds in ways you really didn't expect. Get a bunch of crazy hooligans, some partially drunk, all into one instance. Like, have you seen Engineer Isaac's Twitter lately and all those pictures of like Spirit like snorting from that pipe?
I
Fox,
see
cover
that.
your ears, cover your ears. I forgot.
No, it's fine. It's whatever. Oh no, my car.
But yeah, so first of all, I took those pictures. Second of all, it's so funny how creative Waterwolf staff tends to be with these worlds, and that's why like Spirited Adventures is so great because we learn new ways to play with maps and The reason why I'm bringing this up is because HFF could learn from this and be like, hey guys, let's have a party of these random people that don't even know they're about to go to an HFF instance to test out our world and see how they play test it. How does it sound?
Yeah, I've been thinking of like getting like people who like do world development kind of play test the HFF world, and they can like report bugs that we didn't catch or anything like that, or like something's unoptimized that we didn't see or something like that. We definitely do like play test the worlds, but like sometimes we catch something that, you know, that wasn't noticed by human eyes, and you know, and then we hear all about it on social media. Cut it.
Cut
it.
We're not gonna cut it. Anyway, the joke was that people just go on social media just to complain and stuff without knowing the full sauce. You know what I mean? You don't know
like
the
rant.
whole,
Like they're
yeah,
ranting
like
about stuff
rant,
that they
you
don't know.
That's why Isaac never uses. Isaac says he's gonna leave.
I see a
Twitch,
ton of that. I see a ton of that all the time of
That's what
people like
leads into
ranting
chaos.
about something before they know the full context. Like when I post something, I always make sure I read it before I post it. Like there was a funny. This is funny. Don't worry. There was like I follow these things on YouTube called tutorials, and most of them nowadays are just ads. They're just sample pack ads and stuff like that. So a producer I follow, he started doing this series called like rating production tutorials, where he filters through all the production tutorials, see if they're good or they're bad, or it's a good channel to follow or it's a bad channel to follow. So there's this one guy he reviewed. I'm not gonna name names because honestly he don't deserve it attention. But he reviewed this guy, and next thing you know, I see this big long Twitter thread on him, basically saying like, "Yo, this guy steals other people's like resources and sells them behind his paywall and stuff like that." And it was funny because like nobody calls him out because they're afraid to. And I always been like, if you see someone like just like they're living this, I don't want to say they're living a fake life, but like if you see someone like being, you know what. And like don't say like, oh, I'm afraid to call them out because I have an image to maintain and stuff like that. I've seen so many people just kind of full cover your ears, Foxtrot, full balls off the walls, to like, you know, be like, I don't care if I ruin my image, I'm calling this dude out. I respect those people. I really do. Like, I know, like, I've always been, like, because I do HFF and stuff like that, I've seen so many bad things in the fandom that I want to call out, but I'm afraid to because of HFF and other things I maintain. And I don't want to ruin their image because of, like example, like, an ongoing issue in the furry fandom is people constantly telling DJs that they're not relevant because they didn't play Ferality and all that stuff. So it's, like, I want to call that stuff out, but, like, recently I gained the courage to kind of, like, not like to like say like, oh, I hate this in the fandom sort of thing, just to kind of like bring it up as like, hey, can we do better not to do that? Because like, example, Scaly put out this video, I don't know if you saw it, but Scaly put out this video during Ferality basically saying like, I don't want to be treated like a multi-billion-dollar like artist and stuff like that. And I feel like more DJs need to start doing that, because I feel like that's going to prevent more and more people going like, oh, I don't like you because you do this genre, but I like this person doing the same genre as you.
Continuing on to that, I've heard a lot of chatter about that, and even Isaac recently, as yesterday, posted something about that where it's like, you don't have to be validated as a DJ just because you didn't play at a
Yeah,
real life
like
event.
I respect Isaac. I also respect Isaac for a tweet he put out saying like treat your idols as your friends. You glorifying and simping over them makes them feel uncomfortable. And I kind
Tell
of
me
added
about
on
it.
to that. I was like, and also, it's like my response kind of sounded rude, but it was kind of true at the same way. I was like, also, let me give these people a reality check as well. Most of the people that you're simping over don't like being simped over, so. It's like kind of like a lose situation. Like you're simping over somebody, and like most of the time, I have people call me like the best dubstep DJ ever, and I always like tell them, be like, hey, there's more good people out there. I'm not the only one that does this and stuff like that. I always tend to like when people are going over the top with like simping over people. I always like tell them, be like, hey, maybe don't do that because it kind of makes them feel uncomfortable and stuff like that. So like it's kind of a problem I have a huge problem with in the scene, and like and it's also a thing with like people being selective of certain DJs as well. Be like it's like people just giving sets to people be just because of their following is also something that grinds my gears heavily as well. Because it's like you're completely defeating the purpose of applications if you do that. So like I feel like if you have an application, you'll find a hidden gem that applied that nobody knows about and stuff like that. That's why I love it when things do applications. Is you'll find somebody that is really really good that doesn't get much attention, and it's like, but yet people just kind of like, oh, I'm accepting this person because they're this person, and oh, because they have a following, oh, because they have they're really good and stuff like that. Well, no, that last one is valid, but like the other two are like, it's just so bad, and like it's getting to a point where I'm calling the DJ scene saturated because it kind of is.
So let me go ahead and bring up something that we talked privately before we did this whole event. You remember how you were like how some clubs would refuse specific DJs if they don't have like that big enough of a following or don't draw a crowd? And that kind of
Yeah,
adds on to this point because I feel like that's very like not how you should run a club because you should give everyone a fair opportunity
I feel like
regardless of
that's
the
also
crowd.
bad to say that as well.
It's
Especially if you're like even in like a staff setting, like say this person doesn't pull a crowd, like that's kind of really bad to say, and that's a bad look. Like if like those messages get like leaked out or anything like that, because that does happen, where like staff messages like of people saying like, oh, this DJ doesn't pull a crowd, that has happened before, and like it's not. People frown upon that in the fandom, and that's something I really respect. Like example with the whole like all the musicians rallying together against FWA and that whole situation really kind of like made me happy to like see all these musicians being like, "Hey, we don't like how you're treating us," sort of thing. And like it's kind of another point too. The fandom kind of, to be honest, I hate to use foul language, but the fandom seems to not give a fuck about musicians. Like it's something that I see a lot, and it's something I really hate because it's like this is the algorithm in the furry fandom. You either have a fursuit or you draw not safe for work art or safe for work art, or you're not going to get any attention. I don't like that. I really really don't like that algorithm. So I've been kind of trying to like push people, be like, hey, like that's why at the end of every set I always like say on the mic, support furry musicians, please. We need your support and stuff like that, especially with conventions treating us poorly and stuff like that. So it's kind of like that thing, and like I've already had people be like, yo, if you say support furry musicians, you're gonna get blacklisted, and I'm just like, I don't care, they can blacklist me all they want.
Why
Like
would they
if I
blacklist
say
you for
if I
that?
just say simply, if I there are events that have like had a problem with people saying support for musicians, and I don't like that. Ugh.
Yeah, this has gotten to
Like
interesting
hell,
places.
like you know, yeah,
Because I feel like it's all just a quest for validation. Everyone wants to be recognized for what they wish to be. Everyone wants to be the next popular guy or girl, and I just feel
yeah.
like
Like
they need.
I said this on. I posted a tweet saying like like because I have had some people recently at some of my sets say this guy is not going to be as good as Kaiju. This guy is like trying to be like Raccoon, but he's like very terrible at it. And I put out a tweet being like, can we stop comparing me to people like that? Like, I'm my own person. I'm my own style. Like, I don't want to be this person. So can you stop comparing me? And I said this, like, the fact that it's a reoccurring issue. Like, if it was just a once-off thing, like these type of issues in the DJ scene, then like I wouldn't see it being a big deal. But the fact that it's a reoccurring issue is like really starting to make me be like, the DJ scene in the furry community is kind of toxic. Like the EDM community in the furry scene, like people who love DJs and stuff like that.
So
It's getting kind of toxic where people are like, you're not playing Ferality, so you're not relevant. Like those type of people are like, make me want to just slap them.
yeah, this is proving that, you're a very benevolent person to run HFF and you really do care for your musicians. And I'm glad that you
Yeah,
make it
I don't like. Yeah, like hell, there was a DJ that we selected for HFF because of the reason that other events kept pushing them aside all the time. And I hate pulling strings like that, but me and my DJ coordinator were like, hey, like events keep pushing this guy aside. I think we should just select him because like he really wanted to play HFF, and events keep kind of like pushing him aside and stuff like that. So we were like, hey, let's give him a shot. Yeah, so like a lot of people always say that they love the fact that I'm like activisting for like fairness in the DJ community. Be like, I want everybody to get a fair shot, which is why I applauded Ferality for introducing that new rule, because I feel like that's going to open up a ton of new doors for them to like get new people on their lineup, and for like people who nobody knows about plays Ferality, and all of a sudden they're getting a lot more show opportunities than ever. And I feel like that, like don't treat Ferality like that, please. Don't treat it like, oh, if I get into Ferality, I'll get a ton of more show opportunities or something. Don't treat it that way. But just saying, expect like a lot of show opportunities if you do get selected for Ferality. And honestly, like other events do that too. Like for example, Foxconn Cyberpunk gave me an opportunity to play Corbell's events and get into Corbell's community, which was pretty cool. So yeah, I always push for like fairness in the DJ community. I don't believe in favoritism. I don't like it actually. I always said too, like if we ever had a DJ coordinator hired and they are playing favorites, they will be dealt with. They'll get me in their DMs being like, hey man, don't do this.
Yeah, being fair.
I'm not allowing you to select that person just because you're selecting them just because you like them. Oh wait, no, let me rephrase that. Just because they have a following. If you're going to select them because of their following, I'm not going to let you select them, sort of thing.
It goes on between like event staff teams, and I'm sure you've seen this a lot too, where people will just try to get on the staff team just to say they're staff and try to ride the fame off of it. I'm not calling anyone specifically out on this, but I've realized that it's been a reoccurring issue several times when I see like people trying to get in Ferality, people trying to get in Waterwolf, because they're like, oh, I can just ride the fame off Waterwolf to my Twitch and stuff, and I'll just keep advertising myself. Guys,
someone accused me of trying to ride off of Waterwolf, and I'm like, somebody tried to accuse me of riding off of Waterwolf, and I'm like, no, I don't ride off of people. I mean, that's not what I do. I mean, I love to grow my fame. What's the word for it? I love to grow my fame naturally, pretty much, like over time. Like I don't want to use events. I don't believe in using events to get popular. I don't want popularity actually, because I've seen artists struggle with popularity, and I don't want to go through that. Like like people have like they make a song and it blows up, and that's their most popular song. And I'm always afraid to be like, how do I don't want to be like, how do I capitalize on that? How do I milk it for everything it's worth? No, I'm not that type of guy that like rides off of people for fame and stuff like that. It's not my thing, and it's just cringe to do, to be honest. If you do that, you're cringe. I'm sorry.
Very much cringe, like this
most
world.
Most of it's wrong too.
Very much cringe, like this
most
world
of it
right
is
now.
very wrong. Yeah,
it's stupidly wrong, and
it's
it is very wrong to like.
Because it's just it's just you're trying to feed yourself fame, and you're trying
It's
to
very
think that it's
unhealthy.
all good for you, and it's not, because it can
gives
get you like
you a very unhealthy mindset.
But yeah, see,
yeah, and it's like it's the lamest thing.
yeah, so now we all know how awesome HFF and Waterwolf are with this because we're here to open the door with many opportunities for our attendees and our potentially staff members because most of us hire under contributions. The most contributions you make towards the
Isaac,
community.
yeah,
Go on.
Isaac has the same views I do. He does not like favoritism or anything like that. You know, he tends to be very inclusive on people. You know, I will admit sometimes Isaac does go a little over the top with his marketing, but I mean, you know, at the end of the day, it does work. Like people do join Waterwolves and stuff like that, so it's like it's you know it's fine. It's not like freaking like making your entire Twitter feed about one person bad sort of deal.
Yeah.
I've seen people constantly making their Twitter feed about like certain virality DJs, and I'm just like, guys, that's cringe. Stop.
People
They're
are
all
just
good
crazy,
in their
man.
own way.
But yeah, let's bring this all back to HFF, you know. We are finally nearing the
We
next.
were off the rails.
Oh, I don't think we're off the
Heavily.
rails. We were just talking about like our community views and how we respect our attendees and staff members and
Well,
DJs.
yeah, but I'm saying like in general, like you know what I'm saying. I'm just gonna be quiet. I'm
Have fun.
tired today.
Foxtrot, we get what you're saying, right?
Yeah.
But
I ramble. I tend to ramble.
yeah, that's what we're doing right now. We're all just talking about our community views. You know, this is a talk show after all, so we're gonna talk. So now that we all get our community views out of the way, it kind of goes to show like we really respect our community members and we really respect who we are as a person. And we are going to help people get their foot in the door to advance in our communities. And by the way, everyone, let me make this very clear for all our audience members. You do not need to seek validation in your community. The best way for you to find validation is just being a great attendee, causing the organizations no problems, not trying to forcibly
Just-
make yourself known. Just be there and have a good time.
Just be there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just hang out
Just
with
let it-
people.
if you really
and
want-
gain that.
I mean, to be honest, like if you want to get well, I mean, like I'm not gonna like nobody's gonna stop you from doing so. It's just let it come naturally. Like don't like solely put your focus onto one event just to get well known, because I'm gonna be blatantly honest, that is kind of clout chasing. And you know, there's already people going around saying Fidelity DJs are just clout chasers and stuff like that. Kale put out an entire video about that, and but it's like, you know, if your mindset is solely like I want to get into like HFF or Virality just because, you know, it would get me well known, that is kind of cloud chasing. Let me be real with you.
It's cloud chasing 100%.
It's
And-
just be you, and
Just be you.
What happens if
Yeah,
Reality just
just
goes up and under one day?
join. HFF will take the
No,
we'll take the crown.
Sorry, that was kind of a joke. But it was kind of like, you know what, with all those like Twitter accounts that focus on the negativity, it's like, what happens if they go up one day? What are they going to talk about?
Exactly.
Yeah, all their
Like-
content's just going to be
like-
gone.
VR piece.
Yeah, VR piece.
Make VR happy again. Instead of it rambling the whole time about arguments and such.
Yeah, we're trying to advocate for a better Twitter, that's for sure. Or X. But yeah, with HFF coming up this August, we really invite all our audience members to come give them a visit. And I'm sure Waterwolf will have their own instance and we'll be partying with them. And we really will encourage a lot of people to come and see us and be at HFF, and we'll make everyone have a absolutely great time regardless of your attendance status. Ain't that right?
Be there or be square.
Anything else you want to say about HFF?
Well, there's one thing. I want to say that, in my opinion, Jack, you're, in my opinion, I think you're doing an amazing job for what you do in HFF. And here at Howl Night, all of it just clumps together into like this big thing, and I'm glad we all should be glad that you have a community out there that brings people over anywhere. And I'm very happy that you do what you do. But
I have people come out to HFF that don't really like EDM, but they still show up. It's like that warms my heart as well, because it's like people come out for. Did you hear
Jack,
any
your
of that? Because
internet
I
is
appear to
going
be lagging.
absolutely through the roof.
yeah.
It is not my internet. Trust me, it's my headset being doof. But no, it's like there's, as I was saying, I've had so many people come out to HFF that have said like, oh, I don't really like EDM, but this is really good. Like, a lot of people might be like, why do you play in HFF every year and stuff like that? But it's like, because obviously, like, I'm not like playing HFF every year because it's like, oh, it's my event, so I can play every year, sort of thing. It's like kind of like a celebration thing. Be like, hey, all these DJs performed, like, like I'm a talented artist too, so like, and also I try to change my setup every year to like match the theme and stuff like that. Like the intro for HFF 7 is literally called Spaceship Launch, so it's perfect. But yeah, no, it's like I've gotten people before being like, oh, you play HFF for a year, man, you're using your staff powers and stuff like that. I'm like, well, the reason why is because I love playing for HFF because of the community, not because I want to, not because of clout reasons. It's because the community is so amazing that I just want to celebrate by doing like a big set for everyone, and I don't even care if people show up or not. It's like, I know probably quite a bit of people are showing up because I know Isaac's gonna promote the hell out of him doing visuals for me. But it's I always like I always don't like put my set on the spotlight. I always like be like, hey, check out this person, like check out that person, check out pretty much everyone on this lineup, sort of thing. So like I tend to not listen to those type of people anyway, because it's like they're those people that are just like want the perfect event.
Yeah, ain't that the truth? No event can be perfect or near perfection. We are just have to be thankful
like
for what we
Waterwolf
have.
has its flaws as well.
Yeah. Falling off the DJ sets was pretty funny. Oh.
Wait, calling off the what?
That was a joke to Last Virality. That you remember how they had to make a little bit of an emergency update to the floor because people kept falling off of it.
Oh yeah.
That's what I said. Nobody's perfect. And that's exactly why people shouldn't be using Virality as a quote-unquote perfect DJ finder, because, mistakes happen. They have a weird admissions process. And honestly, you can get your foot in the door in any organization without Virality's assistance. Like, even Waterwolf will help you get up there.
Yeah.
Like, we have, like, many industry leaders from every other aspect of life. What were you going to say?
Yeah, let me tell you guys a story. The person I went back to back with for Foxconn Cyberpunk, Kyler, ever since Waterwolf, he's been ever since he did the set with me for Waterwolf. He has his own club, like it's called Rough, or Rough, whatever. I think it's Rough. I don't know. He's Rough. He works for Placeholder Club now. I think he's their community manager and stuff like that. He's killing it right now, and he has never played for Virality. So yeah, Virality's not your stepping stone into like the limelight and stuff like that. You'll get noticed through every event. Hell, Baru Tatsu wouldn't be where he is if it wasn't for HFF, because that was the first event he played for, and then next thing you know, he's like traveling to like US cons and he's doing like Brew Mondays and stuff like that. And so like yeah, like one event is not your stepping stone to become popular. Like I've seen people throw that in the normal EDM scene as well. Like if you haven't played Lost Lands or EDC, you're not relevant or anything like that. Like I think that's where people are getting it from, honestly. Like hears about that. But it's like you know, it's kind of like in the producing scene as well. Like you don't have to have that one song that pops off. Like people will find you, people will recognize your music, and you know, I respect a ton of DJs that also support the underground as well, that you know, that also play out free music as well. Like example, Coyote played out one of my songs at Ferality, and you know, I really love that, and I feel like more DJs honestly should like to kind of go on to the like the support free musicians thing is like I encourage DJs to start playing more free music as well. Like if it's in your genre range, like play it out. Like you know, like support free musicians and you know, like play their music out and stuff like that. Like, you know, if I have a house song and you play house, go ahead, play out that house song. I don't care.
Yeah, man. It's all about whatever you be you. You know, it's like social media. You shouldn't just be trying to copy your favorite influencer. You should just be you. You'll be popular on your own, you know? Well, anyway, is there anything else you'd like to say about HFF before we leave? My dyslexic butt.
Yeah, I hope you guys come to check it out because let me just say, without revealing anything, the stage is looking really, really cool. The world developers are doing such a good job on the stage, and we have an incredible lineup coming. So when that announcement comes out, we'll be sure to let you guys know what lineup we have. Let me just say right now, there's only a few names on there that you'll recognize. Just saying.
Come on, give us a teaser. Drop a hint.
No, no, I have an NDA I signed. I'm joking, but no, I don't like revealing like information that's not out yet because I'm afraid that might actually. I'm afraid I might get a message from my board being like, "Why did you say that? Lineup's not out yet."
Yep. Here.
Oh, I ate it just by picking it up.
There you go. Now you ate the forbidden fruits. So now he can no longer give us any secrets of HFF. But yeah, it's pretty interesting, and I am really, really excited for this HFF. And I'm pretty sure our entire Waterwolf crew will be there. You know, we always party together. You know, we crashed the party at Ferality. We crashed the party at... Why did I almost say Lethal
Definitely
Company?
crashed the party last year. Like literally, like the last HFF. Like I think almost the entirety of Waterwolf was there.
Oh,
Like
yeah,
I know
yeah.
Isaac was there checking us out, and I remember him coming up to me, and be like, "Yo, Jack, this is actually really, really good. This is a really well put together event." I was like, "Oh, thanks, Isaac." This was like before I knew about Waterwolf and stuff like that. So back in the day, it was just this random guy coming up to me and saying. But this was before I knew Isaac did the whole Waterwolf thing. Like I knew who Isaac was before because like I had to set a scent to him and before and stuff like that. But like this was before I knew about Waterwolf, so I was like, "Oh, cool."
You know, my Isaac story is I was literally playing in Ferality Sylvia, and I was playing on the trampoline, and he came up to me and was like, you know, you can, if you press it at a specific time, you jump even higher and higher and higher. So yeah, it's an Easter egg, we all added it in, and me and him were casually talking. He didn't mention Waterwolf at the time. But yeah, he added me on his friends list, and we were just hanging out, and then all of a sudden, you know, my friend Farron was like,
Oh,
yeah,
I
you
have
want
a
some?
funny joke. I have
Go
a
ahead.
funny joke I've been making about Waterwolf. It's like you cannot escape Waterwolf. They're everywhere.
They are everywhere. It's funny, because my friend
We
Farron
are
was
always
like,
watching.
yeah, it's Isaac. He's a part of this Waterwolf community. He's the founder, and I'm like, okay, I heard about it. I didn't check it out at the time because like, oh, it's another club stage. And then Farron was like, well, you know, he does a lot of cool conventions and all this other stuff. And I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna join. And it was the best day I ever had because I just got done leaving Rexoria because of like internal politics. But but yeah, joining Waterwolf was absolutely amazing, and we thank Isaac for this opportunity.
I thank Isaac on opportunities he gave me as well. Like playing for Foxconn Cyberpunk was an amazing experience to get to play for like a setup like they had. It felt like I was playing Ferality Luma again because of like the light show and the holograms and stuff like that. Like, because I've always wanted to play a setup like that again, and I thought like, oh man, Ferality's the only one that does that, and then Foxconn Cyberpunk showed that it's like a light show, like they do a light show and holograms and stuff like that. I was like, oh wow, so like it wasn't my idea to do the set with Headox, by the way. It was his idea. He sent me the application for it and be like, hey, let's apply for Foxconn Cyberpunk and stuff like that. And then it was a very unfortunate time because I'm sure you know all about it because I remember panicking in the waterwolf server about it. But my laptop died. There was a point where my laptop died and like I had no computer, no nothing. So I was panicking. So I almost backed out of Foxconn Cyberpunk. But Isaac told me, was like, hey, you'll find a way to record your segments. Don't worry. And I did. And yeah, I applaud Isaac for keeping me going even on my lowest points. And you know, yeah.
Heck yeah. So yeah, we're not very ego-central or self-centered as they usually say. We're pretty out and going and outreaching, and we support everyone in whatever trail they choose to take. Well, anyway, any closing remarks you'd like to say?
Thank you for having me on the show. Honestly, like this was honestly, I will say this was honestly, I forgot to mention it because it kind of came true, but like this was also another dream vision I had was like getting interviewed by somebody and like it feels so good to finally like talk to somebody about like something for like a thing and stuff like that. It's not like me interviewing somebody because that was a thing that I wanted to start up was like my own little podcast thing where I interview like different furry musicians and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So like being able to being on one of these honestly it makes me feel like yeah, I achieved something.
Yeah, you really did. You
Achieved
made
at least one thing on my goal list.
Yeah, you really did achieve something. You know, this amazing festival. I almost called it a convention again. This amazing festival that hopefully has all the real amenities of an actual festival, because that's a cool goal to have. You know,
Oh yeah.
I would love to see the signs. You know how you go to a music festival and people have like these large signs like Krusty Krab or something really stupid on it. I want to see those come. Like that should actually be like a festival event where it's like have the funniest sign. Oh no. Jack?
I'm good. That was my dog.
Oh, that was your dog? I thought you froze for me for a second. I was like, oh.
Yeah, no, I'm good.
So, any thoughts on that?
No, I mean, I'm that's it.
Bro just didn't say anything about the sign festival. But yeah, anyway, Jack, this has been a pleasure. Hopefully, we can have another episode with the rest of your team if they wanted to. But it's been an amazing opportunity to have you on our show, and this is the 10th episode of Community Howl Night, which is a really good milestone for us because it started as like a really small like startup, and we're really trying to.
Foxtrot said this was episode 8.
Foxtrot accidentally got this wrong, but it's alright. I get it wrong all the time too. I
Where
literally
is
don't know
Foxtrot?
the. He unexpectedly left. He was sitting right here, and then he kind of just went, boop, pluck, gone. Yeah, I don't know. I think he crashed, and he didn't come back, or he was like, oh, they probably don't need me, and left. It's alright. Things happen.
Mm.
But yeah, he opened for us, and we have a lot of new employees that are joining us. Like our new recording staff, and I'm the director. I am now probably going to be taking a backseat role to some of these episodes where I'll be in the back just telling people like next questions, next topic, and all this other stuff. But it's been a pleasure to have this going, and thank you, Isaac, for the opportunity. Anyway, thank you, Jack. Thank you, everyone, for watching, and this was Community Howl Night. Hurrah! You're not gonna do anything?
Uh,
Oh, Jack, you're very funny.
for my
sometimes.
music, SoundCloud.com/timekeeper. While I have the opportunity, SoundCloud.com/timekeeper. Listen to my music, please.
Yes.
That is
Thank-
T1M3K33P3.
Oh, you're lagging so badly. But yeah, have a good one, everyone.
It is it is soundcloud.com/T1M3K33P3R. Listen to my music, please.
Yeah, listen to his music, give him a holler. Have a good night, everyone.